Hi, today our topic is 7 factors affecting human resource planning and its objectives. The 7 factors are type and strategy of the organizations, organizational growth and its cycles and its planning, environmental uncertainties, time horizon, type and quality of information, nature of jobs being filled, outsourcing, objective of human resource planning, forecast personnel requirement in organizations, cope with changes, use existing manpower productivity, promote employees in a systematic manner, and what are the factors affecting HRP. Now we discuss about this. So, the type and strategy of the organizations. The first point, the type of organizations determines the productions process involved, the number and type of staff needed, and the supervisory and managerial personnel required. So HR need is also defined by the strategic plan of the organizations. If the organization has a plan for organic growth, then the organization need to hire additional employees. So on the other hand, if the organization is going for mergers and acquisitions, then the organization need to plan for layoffs, as managers can create duplicate or overlap positions that can be handled more effectively with fewer employees. So the organization first decides whether to be reactive or proactive in human resource planning in organization. So organizations either carefully anticipate the needs and systematically plan to fill the need in advance, that is proactive, or can simply react to the needs as they arise, that is reactive. So likewise, the organizations must determine the wild of growth HR plan. The organization can choose a narrow focus by planning in only one or two HR areas like recruitment and selection, or can have a broad perspective by planning in all areas including training and remuneration in organizations. So the nature of the HR plan is also decided by the formality of of the plan. They can decide to have an informal plan that lies mostly in the minds of the managers and personnel staff, or can have a formal plan which is properly documented. In writing, the nature of an HR plan is also dependent upon the flexibility that is practiced in the organization also. So the HR should have the liability to anticipate and deal with the contingencies. So organization frame HRP is such a way that can contain many contingencies which reflect different scenarios, thereby assuring that the plan is flexible and adaptable in organization. Now, organizational growth cycles and planning. All organizational pass through different stages of growth from the day of their inceptions. The stage of growth in which an organization determines the nature and extent of HRP. Small organizations in the earlier stage of growth may not have well defined personnel planning, but as the organization enters the growth stage, they feel the need to plan its human resources. All this stage, the organization gives emphasis on employee development. But as the organization reaches the mature stage, it experiences less flexibility and variability resulting in a low growth rate. HRP planning becomes more formal and less flexible and less innovative, and problems like retirement and possible retrenchment and dominate planning also in organizations. So during the declining stage of the organizations, human resource takes a different focus, like planning to do layoffs, retrenchment and retire in a declining situations. Planning always become reactive in nature towards the financial and sales distress faced by the company. Now we discuss about environmental uncertainties. So political, social and economics change affect all organizations, all the fluctuations that are happening in these environments affect organizations drastically. Personnel planner deal with such environmental uncertainties by carefully formulating recruiting, selection, training, development policies and program in organizations. So the balance in the organization is achieved through careful succession planning, promotion channels, layoffs, flexi time, job sharing, retirement, VRS, that is voluntary retirement, and other personnel related arrangements in organizations. Now, what is time horizons? So HR plan can be short term or long term. So short term plans span from 6 months to 1 year, while long term plans spread over 3 to 20 years. So the extent of the time period depends upon the degree of uncertainty that is prevailing in an organization environment. So greater the uncertainty, the shorter the planned time horizon and vice versa. Now we discuss about type and quality of information. The information used to forecast personnel need originate from a multitude of resources. So the forecast depends to a large extent upon the type of information and the quality of data that is available to personnel planner also. So the quality and accuracy of information depend upon the clarity with which the organizational decision maker have defined their strategy also, and structure, budget, production, schedule and so on. Now we discuss about the nature of jobs being filled. Personnel planner need to be really careful with the respect to the nature of the jobs being filled in the organization. So employees belonging to lower levels who need very limited skill can be recruited hastily, but while hiring employees for higher post, selection and recruitment need to be carried out with high discretions. So organization need to anticipate vacancies far in advance as possible to provide sufficient time to recruit suitable candidates also. Now outsourcing. What is outsourcing in organizations? Now we discuss about this. Several organizations outsource part of their work to outside parties in the form of subcontracts. And outsourcing is a regular features both in the public sector as well as in private sector companies. So many organizations have surplus labor, and hence instead of hiring more people, they go for outsourcing. Outsourcing is usually done for non-critical activities. Outsourcing of non-critical activities through subcontracting determines HRP. Now we discuss about objectives of human resource planning. The basic purpose of having a human resource plan is to have an accurate estimate of the number of employees required with matching skill requirement to meet the organizational objectives. It provides information about the matter in which existing personnel is employed in organizations, the kind of skills required for different categories of jobs, and human resource requirements over a period of time in relation to organizational objectives. So it would also give an in indication of the lead time that is able to select and train the required number of additional manpower in organizations. So following are the objectives. Now we discuss about this human resource planning. So forecast personnel requirement, number one. Number two, cope with changes. Number three, use existing manpower productively. Number four, promote employees in a systematic manner. So forecast personnel requirement. Now we discuss about this. HR planning is essential to determine the future manpower needs in an organization. So in the absence of such a plan, it would be difficult to have the services of the right kind of people at the right time. Now, cope with changes. HR planning is required to cope with changes in market conditions, technology, products, and government regulation in an effective way. So these changes may often require the services of people with the requisite technical knowledge and training also. So in the absence of the HR plan, we may not be in a position to enlist their services in time. Now use existing manpower productivity. By keeping an inventory of existing personnel in an enterprise by skill, level, training, educational qualification and work experience also, it will be possible to utilize the existing resources more usefully in relations in the job requirement. So this also helps in decreasing wages and salary cost in the long run. Now we discuss about promote employees in a systematic manner. So HR planning provides useful information on the basis of which management decides on the promotion of eligible personnel in the organizations. So in the absence of an HR plan, it may be difficult to ensure regular promotions to competent people on a justifiable basis. So that is for the main points of these topics. And now we discuss about the factors affecting human resource. So before an organization undertakes human resource planning, there are many factors that have to considered by the managers. These factors can be classified as external factors and internal factors also. The external factors are those factors that are beyond the control of the organizations. The internal factors are those factors that are company specific. So the factors affecting human resource planning, so that is external factors and internal factors that I earlier mentioned. So what is external factors? The external factors are those factors that are beyond the control of the organization. So these factors include factors such as government policies, technological advancement and environment of this business. So now government policies, technological advantages and environmental of business. Number one, government policies. So government policies regarding factors such as a labor, welfare, industrial policies, wages and remuneration. The reservation policy for different communities and other measures affect the human resource policy of the organization. So this is turn has an influence on the way the organization undertakes human resource planning. So in case the government policy regarding any aspects changes, the organization has to alter its strategies and plans as so as to follow the amendment laws also. So as a result, the human resource planning procedure is also gets affected. Now technological advancement. The technology and production procedures that are used in organizations would determine the kind of human resource which would be required in the organization. So when the technology which is used in the organizations for production improves, the skills of the employees who are working in the organizations also have to be updated. So in order to upgrade the skills and their employees, necessary training program have to be designed. As a result, the human resource planning which is undertaken also gets affected. Now, environment of business. The factors such as competition, these situations in the labor market, the taste and performance of the customers, and the current trends in the domestic and international market shape the way in which the company undertakes its activities also. So these also affect the way in which the procedures and undertake in the organization, which influences the way in which the activity of human resource planning is undertaken. So all these factors change. The management may have to alter the way in which the procedures are undertaken and also may have to train the existing employees or appoint new ones. So this would significantly influence the manpower planning undertaken by the management also. Now we discuss about internal factors of the organization. The internal factors are those factors that are company specific. These factors include aspects such as company policies and strategies in organization, the culture of the company, may the type of employees required in the organization, the company policies and strategies. Number two, culture of the organization, quality and skills required in the human resources. First of all, we discuss about company policies and strategies in organization. So company policies and strategies influence the way in which the company would undertake its activities in order to achieve its objectives. So company policies and strategies also have an influence on which way the human resource would be utilized by the company. So it is very essential that the policies, strategies and human resource policies of the company would be in sign which each sign with each other. So these would help the organization to achieve its goals in a smooth manner. The human resource manager should keep in mind the objective of the organizational while designing the policies of recruitment, selection and training strategies, as these are critical for performing various activities in the organization. Now we discuss about culture of the organization. The culture of the organization includes the set of beliefs, values, thoughts, assumptions and practices shared by the people of the organization. The culture of the organization shapes the personality of the members of the organizations as they influences the thoughts, emotions, motives, attitudes and behavior of the people. So the culture of the organization influences the decision making pattern of an organization. The way in which people can be motivated also depends on the culture of the organization. When the culture of the organization alters in any manner due to any reason such as induction of the new employees, promotion of certain employees, creation of trade unions, etc. So it influences the human resource policies as well as human resource plan which are formulated by the organizations. So now we discuss about quality and skill required in the human resource. So while formulating the human resource plan, it is very important that the manager consider the number of employees and the nature of the skills required in the employees. So factors such as number of personnel required, skill required, locations of jobs, and the structure of the organization influences the human resource policies and plans formulated. So vacancies that may arise in the lower level may be filled at a short notice by training programs may have to be designed for them so that they can adjust to the production environment. On the other hand, as the level of the position which may fall vacant goes to a higher level in the organizations, the time required to fill it may increase as the skill required might be specific. So further, the training program for each level would also be different, and so specific plans have to be for formulate eliminate. Due to this, human resource plan also would be influenced. Now we discuss about the objectives of human resource planning. So the objective of human resource planning is that activity that ensures that the right people are appointed at the right positions at the right time at the right cost which is most economical for the organization. The following points now we discuss about this for human resource planning. So number 1, human resource planning assesses the manpower needs of the organization in the future and designs appropriate plan for requirement and selection. It also assesses the skills which would be required of the employees of the organization in the future. On the basis of the skills required of the employees of the organization, necessary training programs can be formulated also. The necessary burden of labor cost can be avoided with the help of human resource planning, as only the required number of employees would be appointed. Human resource planning also ensures optimum wage or of human resource in the organization. Human resource planning also helps the organization cope with technological development and modernization also. It also ensures career of employees is developed by developing programs that would help in career advancement. Human resource planning also ensures the labor productivity is maintained by adding the management to motivating the employees in an appropriate manner. So that's for the video, my friends. If you like my educational channel, please subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot for watching my videos.